as I went through the data on the blockchain, first I started with the deployer wallets, and then I looked at the owner wallet, the marketing wallet, because those are all public information saved into the contract. And I just kind of did some sleuthing from there. I marked all the wallets that dumped, and then eventually I was able to find just some intermediary addresses and found all these addresses are connected. All these dumps happened in sync with each other, and all of these addresses were excluded from paying the fees right before they all dumped. It was clearly choreographed and planned from day one to be exactly what it was. Rugpull recap number 1, part 2, NanoDoge.
NanoDoge.
What's a NanoDoge?
I have no idea.
I don't either.
NanoDoge was another high-profile rug that happened this week. If you pull up the website, you can see the little. Obviously,
there's a
it's
tiny
a little.
Doge.
It's a Shiba Inu.
Of some sort.
Very popular mascot for a lot of these coins or tokens, I should say, that are coming out. NanoDoge had a really high marketing, a large marketing budget. They did a ton of marketing for this project. They had some celebrity endorsements, and I'm not talking about like a cameo. They had like I can't even remember it. Some rapper or something, entertainer, shilling it on Twitter. Of course, there's a lot of celebrities that do that for a quick and easy dollar. And I learned about this through. I was not an investor, but I learned about it through our Telegram community. Unfortunately, a few people perhaps invested in it, were rugged, and that's how I learned about it. And then I kind of threw it over to Ryan so he can do some digging into it, because if there's anything that Ryan does well, it is sifting through data on the blockchains.
And oh boy, was there some data. So first of all, as you can see, they deleted their website, so we're using the Wayback Machine just to pull up their website here.
Yeah.
But I went on a deep dive in the blockchain, and boy, oh boy, is this something that is a regular thing for whoever's doing this.
Yeah.
Excuse me. So this links back to Rugpull after Rugpull after Rugpull through chains of wallet transactions. It is absolutely absurd, but we'll get into that later. They've been doing this since the Binance Smart Chain came out constantly. This is probably one of the more successful ones I see in the histories of them that they've been doing.
Yeah, it was really just a matter of time. I feel like with all the money they probably made with their little rugs leading up to this, they were able to finance this project with a lot of money through marketing and make it blow it up into something, which clearly it wasn't. On their website, also, I'm reading that NanoDoge is aiming to be the biggest, cutest Doge token, which employs an automatic buyback function. That sounds really familiar.
It does. In fact, that is what we will start talking about. So that is because the code is just a fork of Everrise. Here we go. Everrise on the left, which everyone knows about right now.
Right.
And NanoDoge on the right. So this is basically, you can see they changed the name.
It's an Everrise. And I don't know, do you know Everrise? We can't confirm really if Everrise was the first contract of this kind. It just happens to be right now the most popular and most booming one. Yeah,
to be honest, I don't know. We could look at whatever, I forget the name of the website, but there's a website you can put the code into the address. It'll tell you if there's previous...
Token Sniffer?
Yeah, Token Sniffer. That's what it was.
Yeah, it's a great great resource, actually.
Hey, might as well pull her up. Let's check. Token Sniffer.
Grab the contract address.
Yep, I got one of them here. And boy, is there a lot of crap. It's crazy. Yeah, no, I was curious. Oh, wait. So this is the NanoDoge, and then... yeah, and then it'll show... So this was a copy of copies and stuff. I don't have the Everrise contract in front of me, the address. But anyways, yeah. So this is a copy of, I don't know, Baby Shiba Inu, Mini Shiba, Chic Doge, Karen Doge, Mini EverDoge. So many ridiculous things. And...
It's basically shitcoin after shitcoin.
Shitcoin after shitcoin. But yeah, let's go into it here. So there's their nice little chart that lasted a couple days. I think, what is it, 3 days or 2.5 days that they were only around. But because they had so much hype,
they marketed it really well, and it got.
I guess, I don't know. And they had a lot of people in it. There's still people in it, just buying and selling at the very end here.
Certainly.
And as I went through the data on the blockchain, first I started with the deployer wallets, and then I looked at the owner wallet, the marketing wallet, because those are all public information saved into the contract. And I just kind of did some sleuthing from there. I marked all the wallets that dumped, and then eventually I was able to find just some intermediary addresses and found all these addresses are connected. All these dumps happened in sync with each other, and all of these addresses were excluded from paying the fees right before they all dumped. It was clearly choreographed and planned from day one to be exactly what it was.
And that was the assumption, really, when you were looking into this. But just right before we started filming this, Ryan had linked this way back further than we initially thought when we were looking into it last night.
Yeah, but I just looked at it. I was going down a real deep rabbit hole there.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But basically, what happens? Why is there a marketing wallet, a deployer wallet, an owner wallet? Why is there so many different wallets that have to do with this? Because that's how the Everrise tokens and token clones work. Basically, there is a fee, just like the other ones with a tax fee, that gets put aside. But what happens with the Everrise clones is a very small amount is sold throughout the entire day. So for this token, you can see every 15 minutes or so, like here's a 2 minutes between them, 3 minutes between these, there is a transaction to sell their token into the liquidity pool for this amount right here, which works out to be about $42, I think. Mm-hmm. And it's happening all day. I mean, it happens all day long, and it's just very, very slowly selling and selling and selling and selling and filling up a marketing wallet with BNB. So about $41 a transaction. This is the same way Everrise works. That's why they have a wallet with about $2.5 million in it worth of BNB, because they had already sold $2.5 million of their token into the liquidity pool. That's why the BNB exists. They were the biggest whale to bring the price down the most. Same with NanoDoge, Everrise, all of those style. They are the biggest whale that brought the price down the most. That's the reality of it.
Right, but again, it goes back to that psychological, there's a cushion, or there's some sort of...
There's a cushion.
There's a cushion there, but where did that money come from?
Even though the cushion was pulled from the liquidity pool.
Yes.
And it's a private wallet that anyone can use that, has access to that wallet. And it's just ridiculous. But, okay, so looking into it, right before this big dump happened, there was a lot of transactions done by the owner wallet directly with the contract. And what they did is they excluded from fees address after address after address. And all of these addresses that were excluded from fees, I marked in my BSC scan as dump 1, dump 2, dump 3, blah, 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 so that I could see them later come up if these excluded addresses did anything. And sure enough, those were all the addresses that dumped. So right before the dump as well, they performed this function, and they've been performing it constantly. Every few hours it looks like they perform this function called sweep. What sweep does is it's just a withdrawal function. It removes tokens from the contract and sends them to the owner wallet. So this usually gets hit pretty hard on audits when you have a withdrawal function, because it means that whoever owns the token contract can withdraw tokens from it. And if the token holds, or if the contract holds tokens on a regular basis for its regular functions, then that means that the wallet owner who owns the contract can just pull all the tokens out at any time.
Right. So
they've been operating that function on an ongoing basis every few hours, it looks like, just to pull out, $1,000 here or there.
Now, have you ever seen the withdrawal function labeled sweep in a contract before?
I haven't, but I've also not double-checked it until now. But since this was a copy of something else, I assume it's in a lot of them now. But it might be.
What would be
why
if it's just the withdrawal function? Why do you think they're renaming it sweep?
Just so it doesn't automatically come up
in audits.
Now
with NanoDoge, I didn't really look and see if they had an audit. I'm assuming they would.
Who knows?
Because but audits really,
they're whatever.
Yeah, we've kind of established that it doesn't really.
Yeah, you're paying someone a ton of money to look at something they've already looked at, to tell you something that you already know, to convince people that
it's safe.
You're trying to trick
somehow. That
it's safe. I mean, it's a scam. And a lot of the auditors, like Surtech and stuff, they don't even know what half the functions are. Like, I was going to get an audit from Surtech, and then I found the same function in my contract as some other contracts that they've audited, and their response every time was, "What does this function do? what does it even do? We don't know what it does. That's how they audited it.
Unfortunately, we could not fully XYZ
couldn't understand
basically
what
figure
this
out
did.
what the function was. What was the function that you had to tell them what it was?
It's called deliver.
The deliver function.
Deliver,
yeah.
and what that does is it's allows any wallet to basically send tokens as a reward, as reflections to all the other wallets. So that is in there for the instances of having an exchange pay reflections back to the Binance Smart Chain holders so that they can do it in bulk and do it like once a week or once a month or whatever you work out.
Right.
Why the heck Surtech doesn't know something like that? But anyways, that's just going down the road. We should do a whole video on audits and how preposterous they are and how much of a waste of money they are.
There's that
because
one.
they are. Because they're ridiculous. It's a whole scam. It's like, oh, we trust this one. Why? Why do you trust that one? Oh, because these guys used it and they're great.
Okay.
Yeah. That's what really grinds my gears. So then moving on, what else do they do to prepare for their dump? They set the maximum transaction amount.
They increased the maximum.
They did, which if you hexadecimal this out, the D3C, so what? They changed it to 100 trillion. So I just did that in my head. I didn't. I just know that it was a lot. So they changed the maximum transaction amount to a very high number so that they could do their dumps in one transaction per wallet instead of a bunch of smaller transactions and getting errors. So let's see. Oh, this was an interesting one. So even though it appears that these wallets are connected, there might be some beef between the developers on this project because while they were excluding multiple dumping wallets from fees, one of the wallets, they actually increased the fees to 90% for this one particular wallet.
Right, which is strange.
It was very strange.
Why they did it is pure speculation. It could have been their wallet. It could have been to throw someone off. I know with the what was said after this with the NanoDoge, which I want to make a point and address this because I think this is really important. They blamed it on a developer named Mo. They released personal information, and I am just saying, I guess it is my suggestion, my personal suggestion, for these people out there who are on a manhunt to just take the information that they've been given with a grain of salt, because this whole rug pull runs deeper and goes way further back than I think people realized. So yeah, I mean, I saw some crazy stuff going on in some of the rug victim Telegram groups that were created after this. People talking about going after people personally, harming them, killing them. So yeah, just be careful out there.
Yeah, whoever was in charge of this one, this isn't their first time. We'll get into it in a little bit though, but they have a bunch of other ones that they've been doing less successful. And yeah, so anyways, they included this address. They increased this address's fees to 90%. Don't know exactly why they would do that, but yeah, I don't know. Not sure.
Yeah, it's interesting though.
It is. It actually kind of looks like, from what I was looking at, out of these three original addresses that are on here, the deployer, the owner, and the marketing, it kind of looks like the deployer address is an individual person from the owner and the marketing address. And the reason I believe this, and this is just speculation of what I'm looking at the blockchain, I don't know for sure, but the reason I think this is because when they withdrew their tokens, or actually backing up a little bit, all the dumps happened and went between the owner address, the marketing address, and then all these dumps happened, and then all the BNB from that went back to a single wallet, and then that wallet withdrew the money to a Binance Hot Wallet, which is, you know, where they go and they cash it out for dollars or whatever. And then a whole different chain of intermediary addresses started from the deployer wallet and ended at a different wallet that then withdrew to their Binance Hot Wallet. And it looks like these are two completely different branches, basically. And that one address that the fees were increased to appears to be one of the intermediary addresses that the deployer wallet had. So I don't know. Maybe there's some beef between the scammers, and maybe this one took off so much, and one guy might have made more money than the other, and then there was some beef, and now they're trying to pin it on one guy or the other. But definitely, all these wallets that were involved in this thing knew what was going on originally. I mean,
Right.
It's not their first time.
Right. It wasn't like a one dev just went off and did something solo scandalously. It really looks like everyone that was originally involved in the project was in on it from the get-go.
Yeah, and how do we know that? How do we know? How do we know? Oh, here's some of the intermediary addresses, and this is how I know that they are intermediary addresses that are all connected, is because it comes from a known address, something like the owner, and then it goes to these dump addresses that we know for a fact that the owner excluded from fees, and then those dump addresses will do a sell. So that's how we know that they're connected. And there's just time after time where the money starts with like an owner wallet and then goes through all these intermediaries, like this dump one, and then it does a sell, and then this intermediary, blah, blah, blah. And then the ones that I named, the actual ones that they withdrew to their wallets, I noted on here is W2, W1, W3, and that's the ones that they actually withdrew to their Binance wallets with. Let's see, here's just another one starting from the marketing wallet through this intermediary wallet, and then out to this W2 wallet that they withdrew from. But see, but there is some crossover in there, or no, marketing, yeah, that marketing wallet was a W2, that's right, so yeah, it's a different branch. Like I said, another intermediary one. This stuff's going to get boring for people, but it's just some evidence that I noted every single transaction where it was certain the beginning address and certain of the ending address, and then I marked all the in-between addresses to know that they're certainly related.
And we're going to drop all of the addresses that were investigated into the description of this video. If there's anyone out there that is interested and wants to do further digging, all this information, all the wallets that Ryan's talking about are going to be in the description below.
And something very helpful that people might not know, on BSC Scan, if you make an account, you can tag addresses. So for these guys, that's how I did this. Instead of it just showing an address, I named it NanoDoge, M was marketing, and then they transferred it to the withdrawal number 3 address that they had. And this is just how I mark them. And anyone can do this. And then that way you'll know if there's a new token that was deployed by one of these addresses, which they, they're not doing it very smart because they've been using the same addresses for different tokens that they've been making. You'll see right away. And there was another one that, was a smaller one. I mean, they only rug pulled a few $1,000 the next day or the day before or something. But these addresses connected enough to know not to mess with NanoDoge because of this other rug pull in the deployer's past. So,
oh, right, yeah.
So yeah, yes, really bad. It's so bad, so much. So this is one of their main withdrawal wallets. So I named it W2, and it withdrew to this Binance Hot Wallet number 6. Here's a withdrawal for 1,200 BNB about, and you can see all these intermediary wallets that transferred money to this W2 wallet, and it all happened right after these rug pulls, right after all these sales, all these different wallets sold, and they all ended up sending them back to the same address before they withdrew. And this wallet was created, just 3 days ago, specifically for this. But it doesn't work if the wallet you're funding it with is a known wallet. So I don't know what they're trying to do. It's not very hidden.
I know. I feel like now that I'm thinking about it, it's like they've done it for so long. Maybe they're just getting lazy with whatever.
Maybe.
We've already done this about, 50 to 100 times already.
Now here's something I found interesting. So if you notice right here, there's a transaction that did not go through. And first I had noticed, let me go back a page. One more page. I don't know which page it was on. But anyway, so there was a transaction that didn't go through. And I click on it, and it's for the NanoDoge marketing wallet was trying to transact with the Golden Parachute token contract, and it got denied. So why? What were they trying to do? And then when I looked at that transaction, they were trying to exclude from fee some random wallet, just like before when they excluded a wallet from a fee right before they did a dump. But it got denied. This was the success one. I think the denied one is. Oh, here we go. So yeah, it got denied right here. Why did it get denied? It says the caller is not the owner because they tried to do it from their NanoDoge marketing wallet.
Whoopsies.
Whoops. Because they had their MetaMask on the wrong wallet or whatever wallet they were using. So then a minute later, they changed to the proper wallet, and then they successfully excluded from a fee. This wallet, exclude from fee, started with 545, and that was the same one that they tried to exclude a minute before when it failed because they did it from the NanoDoge marketing one.
Yep.
So then that's when I went, oh, this is not their first time. This is clearly not their first time. A minute later, I mean, it's undeniable. You can't deny that. It's not a coincidence that this wallet tried to exclude this address from the fee. Then a minute later, it was successfully done. It's because these tokens were created by the same scammers.
Yeah, and golden parachute. Once you hit on that, I was like, let me do a little digging. Could not find much on golden parachute. Obviously, it was within the last 30 days. It launched. It rugged. Couldn't find a website or any social media still up for it, but I did search around on Reddit, and of course, it popped up in well-known subreddits, crypto moonshots and such, shilled by one person, and the same. If you look into Reddit, you could just look it up. Same person shilling a lot of very similar rug pulls. I'll just say that.
Yeah, it's crazy. And then you can see here these other intermediary NanoDoge dump addresses were all interacting with this golden parachute.
Yeah.
So, and this was a day before. So this says 2 days ago. That was 1 day before the NanoDoge dump. So it should have been known because this was a dump happening a day before on golden parachute. And then the next day, the dump happened on NanoDoge. So there was warning. There was a day's worth of warning available if there was people looking at it enough. And, you know, it's hard. There's so many of them happening constantly that it's hard to keep up and know when they're happening. But, you know, I've noted all these, and there's a million more addresses that appear to be linked to this. And
yeah, it's deep. And if anyone's interested, I would definitely look in it. Just take these addresses, mark them, or nickname them so you can see if they pop up in the future, because it's clear that these people are going to be doing this again if they aren't already doing it right now with something that is in the works and hasn't quite been launched yet. There's a lot of very suspicious NanoDoge lookalikes out there that have the very similar setup. So just be careful out there.
All you need is a cute picture of a dog and a willingness to rip people off.
Right.
So yeah, and then this is this is what I was looking at when I said that it looked like the deployer was withdrawing to this W1 withdrawal wallet, because there is kind of a branch here where they started the token like this was like 4 days ago. They actually started it, and then there was a point where none of these addresses seemed to send stuff back and forth anymore. So right before the token, you would see stuff going from the deployer and the owner and back and forth, but then there was a point when they never seemed to intermingle again. So there might have been some beef, and they're trying to pin on one guy or the other.
Right.
But that's just speculation.
I don't know. Well, with the NanoDoge specifically right now, like I said, they have publicly. I mean, I haven't looked into it enough to verify if this is the correct information for this person, if this person even exists. But they've released all this like personal information, pictures and stuff, which have a developer they're pinning it on.
It's greasy.
It is very greasy, but yeah, just anyone following that or anyone who was a victim of the NanoDoge, just take all that information with a grain of salt, because there's something bigger obviously going on in the background there.
Here's a comment on this address. One day you will be scammed by others more than you do now.
What is this?
It's just the comment on this wallet address that they're withdrawing from.
Yeah, a lot of money was taken out of this. Did you get like a
yeah, I added this one up. I think it was something like $840,000. It was right around there.
It's like almost $1 million.
Yeah, quite a bit between these 2 or 3 different withdrawals.
A lot of people that are really upset about this one. A lot of large investors.
Yeah, something interesting about these marketing wallets though, since they're sitting there all day gaining money, it's like, where does that money go? Well, in these cases, they just kind of took it. You know, they didn't really do much with it. They just kind of withdrew it.
Yeah, because that sweep function or the buyback function, it's built into the contract. Is that still going?
Yeah, well, it has to manually be called.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
It has to manually be called. But yeah, real gross, real greasy.
It is really greasy, and there's a NanoDoge lookalike right now called NanoDoge Coin, and within hours of this rug pull, they had press releases talking about how the NanoDoge rug pulled, and they're hosting like a giveaway for the victims of this rug pull, and personally, seems really suspicious to me. Just look out for it. Just yeah.
How do you know? You don't know.
You don't know, but it's
unless you know for sure, because you can go back in time and look through the greasy transactions that people have made.
I was curious about that one, but they have not released their contract addresses,
which is sketchy as hell.
Yeah, they haven't done they're doing some like weird like whitelist pre-sale thing where wallet like a certain list of wallets are whitelisted for the pre-sale. It's not going to be like a public resale.
That is what Baby Doge did. Or not Baby Doge. What was the name of the one we were doing? Oh, NanoDoge. Yeah, that's what they did too. Look.
That's what I was asking.
Yeah, that's what they did too. Let me go back to this page.
Earlier, I was asking about
look right here. That's what they did too. Pre-sale, 40%. Public sale, 32%. Private sale, 10%. Team wallet, 5%.
Yeah.
So they did the same thing.
Well,
they had a private sale.
Yeah, it's just and the contract addresses now and
sketchy.
When I hopped into their Telegram to just do a little digging and to see what they're about, I really didn't say much of anything, and all of my comments were immediately deleted. I was just asking the admins some very simple questions, not attacking them at all. All my comments were deleted, and I was immediately banned from their Telegram group, which is very suspicious as well.
Yeah, if a token does not give you the address before it launches, that's ridiculous because they know you're going to try and look into it, and they don't want you to. And if the token contract is not verified and open source so that you can read all the code on BSC Scan, it is a red flag a million times. I'm not saying that everyone is going to do that, because there are situations like DX Sale, which, as far as I know, they've never rug pulled anybody, but they also don't have open source contracts. I understand they're trying to protect their intellectual property, and I was really sketched to use it just because it wasn't verified originally, but it's turned out so far that DX Sale hasn't rug pulled, but they have the ability to rug pull a lot because they charge a fee, and there are tokens sitting in all these DX Sale pre-sale contracts, and I've still never read their contract. I tried to do decompiling of it to see exactly what was going on, but it's pretty complicated, I guess, and there wasn't much I could figure out if it was something sketchy in there. But they have a good chunk of a lot of people's tokens because they just sit there. And your experience for these new projects that are coming out, at what point should their contract address be released so you can look into it? Because the one I'm talking about hasn't had their pre-sale quite yet. Well, if they have made the contract and it's been deployed, then they have an address. They should tell people what it is. I agree. I thought that was a little sketch. Also, it's a little sketch if you go into a group and just ask a simple question or two and you're immediately banned. That might be a red flag. Yeah. If there's a dissenting voice in the crowd, somebody that says, hey, I disagree because this thing looks bad. Well, the first thing that any scammer or anything that is, they're going to shut you up. They're going to ban you. They're going to kick you out. I just want to point out that, I wasn't even dissenting. It was just I just asked for the contract address. Immediately that was nope. And I said, man, I don't know. Everything was just really sketchy about it. But if you ask one question and you're immediately banned from a Telegram group, it's probably not a good sign. It's preposterous. See, this is interesting where they send tokens, though, because they have so many wallets, and then I'm just going through trying to track them down. So I'm making notes of all these in mine, and if I see something come up where there's a new token being developed by one of these known scam addresses, I will red alert out there to everybody that something's going on. Yeah, tweet it. Tweet it. That's the quickest way, perhaps. Tweet it. But yeah, a lot of these addresses just start out with, a known address will send a little bit of money into this new address, and then they'll create a contract, and then that contract will be a new token, and then they'll rug pull it, and then they'll just keep continuing that. And they've been leaving it as this chain of traceable addresses, which is preposterous because it's very easy to track. I mean, you don't know who they are exactly, but you kind of do, right? Because if they have been posting on Twitter, and I don't know how doxed these people are or any of that stuff, because I try not to look at things like Twitter and things like websites and things like advertisements, because they're marketing. They're all ignore the marketing, look at the data. They're all baloney. I look at the blockchain first, and then I see what I think is going on, and then I look and see what they're saying is going on. And does it add up? Does the data add up with what their advertising is? Because they're saying a lot of times no. Most of the times no. Even with large established ones where it is very obvious what's happening, very basic math, and then blowing up on the Twitters and on all the things. On the Twitters? On the Twitters? On the Twitters? On the twit. On the tweeters? Preposterous. And, here was another one that was definitely created by the same group. Blah token. Blah token, they call it. Because
And Ocelot.
well, I don't know for sure on that
Oh,
one,
okay.
actually. It looks like it, but I do not know 100%.
Ocelot looked like a honeypot to me. I pulled it up on my
don't know.
phone real quick. I mean,
I'm not going to say 100% because I don't know, but
there's been 0 cells that I've seen. So
oh, I don't know what I did with that picture, but I did find the Bleh token. Well, if
Bleh.
I just create or click it here, we can look at who created the Bleh token, and we will find out that the Bleh token.
why didn't we make a Bleh token? I just like
don't
saying
know.
that.
The Bleh token was deployed by this contract creator guy. Oh, NanoDoge deployer made Bleh token, which I don't know anything about Bleh token, but I mean, it's only ever had 6 addresses holding it. I mean, it was just an in-between step while they were learning how to rip people off, it looks like. But yeah, look, NanoDoge deployer, NanoDoge intermediary 3, deployer, intermediary 3, deployer, there's another intermediary. So yeah.
Man, they just had a ball with this.
They've been trying for a while, and they're learning, and they're getting it right finally, I guess, if it's right in their mind on what they're actually doing. But I disagree. I admire the tenacity, is that the right word? Or the
I don't know.
the go-to, the gumption, I don't know. I mean, they're clearly smart,
Yeah.
but they're also clearly assholes.
Yeah. Someone out there sitting somewhere on a lot of money stolen from other people's wallets.
Yeah, well, I guess that's probably it. I mean, I don't think we've got much else on this one.
Yeah, so that was kind of a whole rundown of the NanoDoge. Hopefully that helps a lot of you guys out there who were victims of this, who want to protect yourself in the future. Check out those addresses. Everything that Ryan talked about will be linked or in the description below. Take those addresses, nickname them so you can follow them and make sure they don't pop up on any other projects that you're interested in investing in, because you definitely do not want to be associated with any one of these people.
Right. And if you want to see if a particular token has been including or excluding some addresses from fees, you can go to not.tools and click on the left column for fee exclusion information. Put a contract in there, and it will show you all the times that a wallet has been included or excluded from a token.
For
so
sure.
that you'll know. And
well,
after seeing all these exclusions, one of the premium things that we'll put on there is going to be some kind of alert. So if there's 15 of these exclusions, or a bunch of them happening at the same time, then an alert will go out that something's about to go down.
Yeah, so people can get like a little heads
so
up
that you can
beforehand.
rug pull them before they rug pull you.
Yeah,
Because
rug pull the
that
rug pullers.
would be hilarious if
That would
all
be
the
great.
holders get an alert while this is happening and then rug pull them right before they could. God, that would be great. That would be a good move.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that
Gotcha.
concludes episode 1 of Rugpull Recap. We
Rugpull
hope you
Recap!
enjoyed. Do not forget to subscribe, like, and whether you like us or not,
Smash that like
leave
button.
a comment because we want to know what you're thinking.
Yeah, tell us we're idiots or tell us we're right or
Yeah.
whatever. And, if anyone wants to talk about it, if these guys who did this want to
Yeah.
talk about it, I want to talk to you if you want to.
Right, exactly.
NanoDoge.
You know,
I mean, I don't know you. I just see data, and this is what I think looks like is happening. But
Yeah.
if you got another story, tell me about it. I want to
if
know.
anyone has any questions about the tool that Ryan is referencing, the dashboard at not.tools, we do have a huge community, a pretty large community. Hop into our Telegram, our Reddit, our Discord. We are willing to talk to you guys about whatever you want to talk about. And we have a community that really enjoys educating and discussion as well. So join us in there.
And let us know if there's any rug pulls you'd like us to recap on Rugpull Recap.
Rugpull Recap, exactly. All right, everybody.
Adios!
Take care.